So in this HTML, so what all the things that we will be learning in the sense, so whatever the skeleton part I can tell, so it is one of the structured based. Okay, so you will be just having one structure, and I can tell a blueprint also. So it is a static web page. So in the sense how it will be looking andre, so you will be able to see only this part. So as what all the things I create na, for an example, if I create one of the web page, you will be able to only visible, but it will not be, you will not be able to change any one of the items or so on, and it will not be colorful. So that is one of the thing that the HTML page provides. For an example, see this, where I'm using this excellent raw na, so only these things will be seen, and for the button and all, it will not be in the blue colored, and all these things will not be in the properly aligned. So whenever you use the CSS, okay, at that time only you will be able to apply some of the colors and so on. So I can give an example of this image, that this skeleton should look in the proper manner. So how one of the like one person will be having their dresses and skin color, so on, right? So that is how we will be creating one of the person's what image imagination by using the CSS. And the JavaScript is nothing but one of the person nerves. So whatever the action that goes in, like I can tell, internally, not externally. So internally, whatever the action that happens, that one will be done with the help of what I can tell, with the help of JavaScript. So by now I think so you will just come to one idea. So using this, that is what HTML, you will be creating what, using the HTML, just a minute, using, that is using HTML, and this is for CSS, and this is for the JavaScript. So using this HTML, and this one will be our CSS, and this one will be our JS, that is JavaScript. Okay, so this one will provide you, suppose imagine that I am using one of my tag, that is, I'll take a first tag that which we will be learning is basic tag. I'll take you, that is h1 tag, h1 tag, which gives you some of the sentence or any word like hi. Hi. Okay, so this is what it provides. Okay, so ಇದರಿಂದ ನಾವು we'll be able to do like this. So imagine this is one of the tag. Okay, so this is one of the tag, and I'll be writing the closing tag also. So have taken h1 tag, and I am writing the what content inside this. So this is nothing but content. Okay, so this is nothing but some content I am writing. So this contents whatever the color that has to be changed. Suppose imagine this color should be changed for me. So at that time what I'll be doing, I'll be taking this CSS, and I'll be applying some of the styles for this. So for that, what we'll be doing, we'll be using something called as, what I can tell, style tag, and inside this style tag I'll be writing, I'll be targeting this and I'll be changing that. So that one you don't worry. So we'll be using this style tag, and using this style tag only we'll be doing. So at that time, whatever the text that you want, that color can be changed based on your requirement. So I can write it in blue, like hi. So you can just apply like this. So this will be seen in the browser. So suppose again, so why do we use this JavaScript, sir? So anyway this is performed na, so why do we use this JavaScript, you might ask. So suppose imagine that if you have any function, or I can tell this one should generate, so whenever you have some addition and subtraction things, so instead of this word you will be having something called as add, that is add, add. So instead of this you have something called as word add, and whenever you click on this, the sum of the answer should be given. So that is your task, you imagine. So if I just add like 1, internally it will take 1 plus 1, it should show you the result of 2 ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಆಗ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್. Okay, so here I'll be having something called as add, you imagine. So whenever I click on this, so I need to get what, I need to get this answer. So this task we will be writing in something called as function. Okay na, functions tara create ಮಾಡಿ we will be doing. Okay, so I hope so you had some idea so how this works. So I'll also show you in the programmatical manner so how this works and why we need this HTML, CSS and the JavaScript. Just have a basic idea so why we will be using these things. So anyone can tell me like what you have understood till now? Any one of you? Just ಹೇಳು, ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಹೇಳು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ.
HTML is used for writing the contents, and CSS is used for changes its styles.
Okay. And JavaScript is used for the functionality. So whatever the functionality we need to give na, for that we will be using. So instead of telling functionality, you can just tell that as what I can tell, dynamic changes. That is, we in programmatical manner we tell it as dynamic changes anta, okay na. So one website na dynamic madavaga we will be using what, JavaScript. You know, instead of telling what we can tell functionality, we can just tell it as dynamic also. Okay, so just go through this concept. So we'll just go through this concept, what all it is there. So we'll start the class. So just we go through this part. Okay, so what is the tool that we use to run this program? That is the main thing that you need to know first. So which tool we'll be using, guys? Any idea? Any idea? So basically we'll be using something called as like Visual Studio Code. Have you heard like what is Visual Studio Code? If you have done any other any projects and so on, you would have been seen something called as this Visual Studio Code. Have you been introduced to this Visual Studio Code? Any idea? I need a response from you guys. Please respond. Okay. So see, we'll be using something called as Visual Studio, where we will be running our HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all the things, that is React, anything, any kind of the front end application you do, we'll be able to do it over there, and backend also we'll be able to do over there. Okay, so connectivity person, this thing, everything we'll be doing in the Visual Studio Code only. So what I like to do is, I would like to tell you to install this Visual Studio Code first. So how to download this Visual Studio Code? Okay, so first task what we will be doing today is, so I would like to create one of the folder for you guys, that is React batch, or else React October batch. I'll make this to React October, this because the batch is not seen. Okay, so I would like to create one of the file first, sorry, folder first, and I would also like to tell to install you this Visual Studio Code. So just search for Visual Studio Code download, where you get this one. So don't download this one with whatever the thing that you are seeing over here, that is Visual Studio 2022. Actually this is the different thing, that where you download, you need to download this Visual Studio Code, not the Visual Studio. Okay, not the Visual Studio, you need to download this one. Okay, just click on this and you will be having some of the options. Suppose if you have having Mac and so on, please let me know. I'll be just telling you how to install that. Since I have my Windows software, I'll be just clicking on this and I'll be downloading. So see, it is getting downloaded. Since I have already downloaded, I'll not download this. I'll just cancel this. After downloading this, you can install it. So whenever you install that, you will be getting this one. So I hope so you understood this step. So how to download and install. And please note guys, everyone will make a mistake while downloading. They will download this Visual Studio, not the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so you need to download this Visual Studio Code. So in this site also it is available, and directly you can just go over here and you can download here also. Okay, so two options I am telling. You can go over to this Visual Studio Code and download, or else you can, whatever the link that first you are getting, you can go directly over here and you can download. Okay, any doubts in downloading? Any doubts? I think so you have just, yeah.
Sir, in download next option, the Windows 10, 11, that option, sir.
No, you can just click it on this. It will automatically get downloaded, whatever the version it is there. It will be suitable for both the things. Don't worry about that. Okay. It is both, see, it is both for Windows 10 and 11. Okay, so for that only they have given comma. It will be running in both the things. I think so. Maybe your at present we are using Windows 10 only in most of the systems, not Windows 11.
Yes.
Yeah. And that you can also see over here the at present available version is 1.94. You can see the version. So I hope so everyone have downloaded this. So okay, after downloading this and installing, so you will be getting one screen like this. Okay, whenever you open. So what you need to do, first you need to create one of the folder, and you can either, first shortcut is you can just either drag and drop your folder on this, so that particular folder will be opened, or else what you can do, you can just open this and type cmd. So your command prompt will be open. In your command prompt you can just type code space dot. Your Visual Studio Code will be opened and the particular file will be opened in that. Any doubts in this? Any doubts, guys? I hope so you guys are noting down, or else like I'll just create one of the text and the notepad, and I'll also give you the text what all the steps that you need to follow. So I'll just create here one of the text file that will be helpful for you. Node.txt. So what is the first thing that you guys need to do is you need to install the, I can say that is download and install download and install the Visual Code. Okay, so you need to, what you need to do, you need to download and install the Visual Studio Code. So where do you install that? In this particular URL. So I'll just copy this URL, or else, yeah, this URL only I'll copy and I'll just paste it over here. So whenever you click on this URL, you will be able to navigate to the particular page, and this will get automatically downloaded. So I will copy this and I'll also share this in a group. And what is the next thing that we need to do? After installing, we need to create one folder, create a folder, and what is the next thing under this? 2.1, we can open the file in two ways, actually three ways. First one will be in three ways. Okay, I'll write here. The first one will be drag and drop the folder drag and drop the respective folder, and the next one will be open the folder and type cmd on the path and inside the cd you should type code space dot. So you need to type code space dot to open the respective folder in the Visual Code. Okay, and what is the third way? So you can just open the Visual Studio Code and go to files. So you need to go for files, and over here files at the top of your left hand side and go to open folder and open the respective file. Folder. That's it. So any doubts in this? No na? ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ? ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಓಕೆ. So after this, so this part is done. So after this, what is the next step that you need to follow? So this is all commands. Whatever the thing I write in double quotes, that will be the commands, okay? So what is the next thing that we need to do? So our question arises that as a beginner, so this is our question, that is third question. Where to create a HTML file and how to create a HTML file and how to run the file and where the output will be displayed. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನಿಮಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್, ಸೊ ಹೌ ಡು ವಿ ರನ್ ದ ಫೈಲ್, ಹೌ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ಫೈಲ್ and how to create a file and what is the thing, like where to create a file, how to create a file, how to run the file, and where the output will be displayed. So ಈ questions ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ usually. So suppose if I tell any one of the person to create, so you will be first searching like where to create a file, and how to create a file, and how to run the file, and what is the next thing, where the output will be displayed. So for that, first you need to uh, create one of the file inside the Visual Studio Code in this particular thing. So wherever the folder name is, okay, you just click on this and go create your HTML file with the extension of what. So I'll just type index.html. Okay, so index.html, I'll create one of the folder. So what have done, have created something called as index.html. And how to give a basic structure of this, I will just press shift and 1. So whenever you press shift and 1, you will be getting what you will be getting. So what do you tell this as? What do you tell this as? You tell something called exclamatory, right? Okay, whenever you get this exclamatory mark, you need to press enter. You will be able to get this one structure of this page. So usually how this HTML will be looking. So let us go in deep that what all this mean. Okay, so first I think so you have got an idea of how to create one of the web page. Any doubts on this? ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So okay, we have understood like how to create all these things, but we didn't, what we have missed, we didn't know that what is HTML first, alva. So we learned something called as like what is HTML, in the sense, suppose if anyone asks you what is HTML, what will be your answer? You will know all the programs. In the interview also, you will, how you will prepare, you will be preparing for all the like practical questions and all basic theory questions and so on. But if they ask like the meaning of your program, so what is HTML, you will not be able to answer. The first question that you need to know is what is HTML. Actually, I was been expecting this question from you guys. So what is HTML, guys? Any one of you? Basically, what is the HTML? See, we have done this part, but none of them asked me like what is HTML and what is the history of HTML and what is the like what. So what are the main things that we'll be doing? No one asked. Why? So what if suppose anyone asks you what is HTML? What you will tell? Answer. Alva?
It is
Hmm. So what you guys will answer for that? What is HTML ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? It's okay. Answer ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Answer ಮಾಡಿ.
HTML is a hypertext markup language, and it is used for creating content.
It is used to create not a content, you can tell. It is used to create a structure of the web page with the pre-built tags, you can tell. Predefined tags, you can tell, like that. Okay, good. I need this kind of answers. Vaishnavi.
Yes, sir.
What is HTML?
It is a skeletal structure skeletal structure of a web page.
Okay, then any better answer? So why they have called that as HTML is like what is the full form of HTML? Hypertext markup language. Okay, so why do they call it as hypertext markup language? Why do they have called it as hypertext markup language only? So what is the meaning of that hypertext markup language? They like that they'll ask you this kind of questions only. So if anyone asks you like what is HTML, you will be telling that HTML is an hypertext markup language which is used to create a dash 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 like which is used to create a structure of a web page. You will tell, right? But they'll ask you what is hypertext markup language. So please note down this one. So hypertext markup language in the sense, hypertext in the sense, it will be navigating from one page to the another page. So I'll also tell you how what is an hypertext and how we will be creating an hypertext. Okay, don't worry about that. So hypertext ಅಂತ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಬಟನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದವಾಗ ಒನ್ ಪೇಜ್ನಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪೇಜಿಗೆ ನ್ಯಾವಿಗೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ it will be navigating from one page to the another page. And what is the markup language? So over here na we cannot create our own, what I can tell, own tags. All the predefined tags only we will be using. So predefined tags in the sense whatever the like whatever the thing that has been developed by the HTML that only we will be using. And also we can just go through the history and evolutions of the HTML. So let us just have some of the basic idea of what is the like what I can tell. I'll just take this and we'll just take some knowledge from. Okay, we will be using this ChatGPT only. History of HTML. So just go through this point, guys. Hope so you are getting this points. So what he is coming to tell over here is when this was being introduced, when that HTML was being introduced in the 1991 by Tins Berlin, only this tags were being what? Only these tags were being introduced. Later the other tags came. So for an example, later other tags are semantic tags and so on, I can tell. Okay, so let us just go through all the versions, that is nothing but evolution. So how this evolutions came. Okay, so later the what I can tell, HTML 2.0 came at 1995, and in 1995 again they introduced some of the other things, that is form and more structure elements. So you can just see over here, form and more structure elements was come over there. And again in HTML 3.2 1997 it was been introduced. They again added some of the other text things. And what is the next version? That is HTML4. So in HTML4 what were the things that they when been added? You can just have a look over here. So I told you na, that is semantic tags and so on were added over here. And later they also created something called as XTML. So this is the other complete different one. You don't need to worry about this. So we'll be just going through the HTML part. There is something called as XML also. So other different languages for different thing he has been created. Okay, so don't worry about this part now. So this one again he created at what, HTML5 at which version? So at present actually which is the version that we are using? Any idea? We are using HTML5, right? So this tags were introduced at these are nothing but something called as semantic elements and so on. So these are some of the tags that are being introduced in the HTML5. That is the upgraded version that compared to this one. What I can tell, that is HTML4. So in HTML4, what they have done is they have been also done for linking with the CSS styles, and it supports like that. So before that, how it was now, it was only like this one, that as I told you, it was only like looking like one of the structure only. So you were only able to see like this. So for an example, what I can tell, if I go to XLR, you will be able to see all these things without the colors. In HTML4, you were being able to add some of the colors and add some of the styles, I can tell, not colors. Add some of the styles for that, whatever the styles you have learned in the CSS, you were able to do in HTML4. And in HTML5, some of other tags came like semantic elements and so on. So we'll be learning what are all the semantic elements and so on. So this is the basic thing that you need to know. So any doubts, you can also refer any of the sites, any of the sites, but you need to know some of the, what I can tell, information. Okay, so do you want this points, guys, or you will just note down? This is for just for an information. Okay, just you need to know like when it was been introduced and by whom. So whenever the interviewer asks, for that purpose you will be able to uh, you need at least some knowledge. So if anyone has like what is an HTML, when it was being introduced, please explain the evolution of that. You need to just tell them like it was been introduced in the 1991. Okay, so the first version was being introduced in the 1991 by what Tim Berners, and only these tags were being introduced first, and later the upgraded version, you can just tell later in point 4, that is 1997, they also attached the CSS for that. They also linked the CSS for that, and later in 2014, HTML5 was being introduced, where the semantic elements, all the things was being introduced at that time. So at present we are also using the HTML5 only. Okay, so at present we are using HTML5 only. That one also you need to note down. Then don't tell them we are using HTML6. HTML6 is not yet introduced. Any doubts? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ? HTML6 is not yet introduced. If you want, you can just confirm. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಗೈಸ್? I need a response. ಗೈಸ್, ಯಾ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ?
HTML4 and HTML5, what is the difference between, sir, 4 and 5, sir?
See, difference between, in the sense, here na you have just got some of the other tags, like that is here all the tags were some other new tags were being introduced, like what attributes, like I can tell semantic elements. So semantic elements in the sense, ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪೇಜ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಪೇಜ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದವಾಗ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ನಾವ್ ಬಾರು, ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸು, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸು ಅನ್ನೋ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಹೆಡರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದವಾಗ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬದಲು, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ನ, ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ header tag. So this specifies that this is one of the header part anta. So for an example, if I open what I can tell, imagine I'll be opening something called as some Amazon page only I'll open. So imagine that if I'm creating this part, okay, so I'll use something called as div tag, div tag, div tag. ಸೊ div tag ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೇಔಟ್ಸ್ ಥರ ಲೇಔಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಓಕೆನಾ, HTML ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಲೇಔಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಬರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನ ಹೆಡರ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಓಕೆನಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಒನ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಥರ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದವಾಗ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಗ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆ ಟ್ಯಾಗು ಹೋಗೋದವಾಗ ಸೊ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ಸ್ನ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. They have created a new tags, that's it. So where is that page? Yeah, they have created the, what I can tell, they have introduced, actually they have introduced the different tags. So you will come to know by scratch what all these tags and where all you can use these tags. Don't worry about that. And also illi audio video and so on also was been introduced, okay na. ಮತ್ತು ಲೈಕ್ ಅದೇ ಈಗ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ APIs ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದವಾಗ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜು ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಲೈಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್, ಓಕೆನಾ, ಲೋಕಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮ್ ಡೇಟಾನ. ಸೊ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ HTML5 ಏನೇ ಇಷ್ಟೂ ಇದೆ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡೆಡ್ ವರ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅನ್ ಬೈಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ you have some Royal Enfield which is at the version of which was been built at the 1990s, you imagine. And what is the main version of Royal Enfield that we are using now? So what are the upgraded versions we can see? So previously, first Royal Enfield and all, they used to keep the bullets, the original bullets, and then they used to kick and then start. Later they introduced the kick and start, alva. The first Royal Enfield and all, they used to put one bullet on that and then they used to hit with the hammer or something, and then they used to start that vehicle. Later kick and start came, that at present where you are using, and you would have been also seen that. And later self start, that is at present which you are using. That is how it is. So the new things are being introduced, that's it, that are being added to that only. So idella new things that has been added, and the old things will also remain, but the new things are added, that's it. So let us learn all the things from here, from HTML1, what all the things that have been introduced, you will be learning all the things, okay. So idu upgraded version, that's it. So doubt clear agidya? Okay.
Before coming HTML5,
before coming HTML5 we were using this one, HTML4.
In that part they're not using header part or what, sir?
No, they are using all the things. I'll just show you in the programmatical manner, you will come to know. You keep this question in your mind, okay. So iga what we'll do na, I'll just close this thing. I hope so you have been installed this Visual Studio Code.
Yes.
Okay. What about Rahul?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually I called you, I think so.
Yeah, sir.
Then you told like you will not be attending the class, right?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. You need to inform it in the group also, at least, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So what is the next thing? So this part has been cleared, right? So now we need to know some basic structure, alva, basic structure of HTML. So how to create that basic structure of HTML? We have already created this basic structure, Okay. And how do you create the HTML? It is nothing but with any file name. I can just tell you in the note, that is, so this will be your third question, and this one will be your fourth one. Create a HTML file. So how do you create? Name with dot html. Okay, so some name with dot html you will be using. So this is one of the, what you can tell, the file extension which you will be using for the HTML. And for CSS, what you will be using? For fifth one, I'll take create a CSS file. You will be using name with dot CSS. And for sixth one, create a JS, that is Java file, that is name with dot JS. Okay, so I have been created that is index.html. So that is how the default things looks. So what is this document.html? So see, I'll be covering from first. Okay, you need to just note down this one. I think so you are able to see my both the screen and the PPT. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ? You are able to see na, or else should I zoom it more? You are okay with this? Are you able to see my screen, guys, clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what does this mean? That is document type anta eno use ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ tag ನಾವು ಅಲ್ವಾ? See, these are the HTML tags. We have used something called as document type. So what does this mean? Any idea? What is the meaning of this? Why do we use this document type? What does this is a what? HTML file. Correct, huh? It tells you that it is a HTML file or what? Correct, I know. It is HTML file or what? It tells you that whether which language that you are using as a document. Okay, so ಯಾವ document format ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು you are writing the program ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ it defines. Okay, so it tells you that it is a HTML document type. Okay, this specifies that. So, and what is this then? HTML tag. So what is the HTML tag? So why do we use this? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? So HTML tag, okay. You might ask like, sir, we'll be writing all the h that is HTML. You will tell this answer, right? Correct, huh? So sir, we'll be writing all the things inside the HTML tag. Okay, correct, huh? You will be telling this, right? So whatever the thing that you write, all the things you will be writing inside the HTML tag, you will tell. So then what is this language, that is LANGEN? This specifies, I can tell you that LANG is equals to EN, tells that we write the program in the English. Okay, so if suppose if you want to confirm C, you will be having some of the examples like this is a EN. So if suppose you want to write in any other language, you can also change the particular thing. Okay, so instead of EN you can also write the different languages thing. So EN specifies the English language that we are writing, so that will be the default thing. So I think so here I'm not getting any auto suggestions over here. Okay, I'll just tell you like the different things, like whatever the things, like whatever I can tell you, whatever the different other things are there. Now I'll let you know. So what is this that header is used to? So what is this then? That is header tag. This header tag. What is this header tag then? So you have some multiple things given. Read out, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, read out this parts, na. What are these? Header is used to include the meta informations about the web page. So what does this mean? Any idea? What about Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi?
Sir,
Yeah. What it is actually showing you some information over here only. So what does that mean?
the header part includes the meta information
About the
and all.
web page.
Sir.
Yeah, and what is the next thing? The meta tag is used to.
Provide additional information about the document.
Okay, and what is the next thing?
Char set is used to specify the character encoding of the document.
Okay.
Viewport is used.
So where does the char set is there? See, inside this meta tag, you are able to see something called as char set, right? So this is for what they are telling. For encoding, in the sense, you know something called as encoding and decoding. Encoding in the sense, whatever the code that you write and so on, that will be encoded in this particular format. So for that you will be able to use this one, that is character set. And what is this another meta tag that they have used? You go through this viewpoint line.
Viewport is used to control the initial scale and position of the viewport.
Then this one, the title tag.
Title is used to give the title to the web page.
Okay. So this one, why they are using, they are telling to control the scale and position of the viewport. So what is the viewport, you will ask again. Correct alva? See, whatever the visibility that you see on the screen and whatever the port thing that you will be seeing, that one we will be setting using the what? Mute your mic. Mute your mic. I think so. Whose mic is that? Rahul, mute your mic. So over here, what it happens? See this viewport, so whatever the thing that you see on the screen, you imagine if we are creating one of the website, so that viewport, that is how much, what is the length of that screen and what is the scale of that screen should be, so for that we will be using this viewport. So here we have just, this is the default thing that they have been used. I'll also change this one and I'll let you know how this works. Don't worry about this. And what is the thing that they are using for the title? So what I can tell, the title of your web page that you are creating. So for an example here, it is document. I'll create the title as this is my first class. Or if you are been creating, what I can tell, title for any gaming page or any school website, you can also take something called as, that is what I can take, I'll be taking title as some dash dash dash. Okay, so this title will be seen. So again I'll be running my what, portal, and see this is my title. Similarly this one, what they have given, the title they will be given as the excellent draw. So let us see that and confirm that whether they have given in the title or not. So you have that doubt in the thing, sir, you are just telling that you will be writing this in the title, but this is not a title. You will be having this doubt. So let us also go and inspect that and see whether it is title or not. So your clarification will be done. So where is that? So this is my header part. Inside the header, see, they have written over here. Are you able to see? Are you able to see? I am able to change that code, particular code. It is their website only. Are you able to see?
Yes.
It is their website only where I have changed that. See, if I write something called as, and if I click enter, it is changed. And if suppose if I refresh that, it will come to its automatic, its original form. So any doubts in this? This is a title tag confirmed. Confirm, this is a title tag, right? So what is the purpose of title tag now? It is used to display the title of our web page. So it is there over here. They are telling over here it is used to give a title for a web page. So whatever the title that you want, you can just give it. So I will erase this title and I will make it some meaningful. See, since this is our first class, have given this is our first class, and whenever I open my web page, you are able to see it, this one, and you are running the index.html file. So this index.html file is coming. So you might ask me, sir, how do we run that? Okay, how do we run this? Okay, see, I will just terminate that page, and now you are able to see something called as go to live, right? So this one will not be visible in your system when you are a beginner, and in the sense when you have not been installed something called as some extension called as what, live server. So you need to install this, guys. You need to install this one. So I have already installed, so I'll uninstall this and I will install it. So this one you need to install it. Okay, so if you install this, you will be able to get this option, else you will not. Okay, don't install this one. Okay, you install this, the normal what I can tell you, live server, not this one. Okay, understood? Then after this you can just go over here and run this. If suppose in some of the systems you will not be able to get this one, so at that time what you need to do, right click and go to what, live server. So you will be having a option over here, go to. So I'll just stop my live server and I'll just tell you that open with live server. So done, na? Any doubts? So there are two ways to open the live server. So any doubts? How do we go through? Huh? I need the response from you guys. Another doubt, Sidhya? Okay, till title tag we understood. Okay, you have raised your hands. Okay, Rahul, what is the doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, if you have any questions, if you raise your hand, I'll not be able to see you. Just directly unmute your mic and you ask. Okay, suppose if you have any doubts. See, this is our plain web page that we have got. So, and what is the use of this body tag again? So what is the use of body tag, guys? What is the use of body tag? So body tag is used to what you are able to see. So body tag is used to actually display something that has to be displayed on the browser. So what all the things that has to be viewed on the browser, you will be writing inside the body tag. So for an example, I'll take one of the tag, that is h1 tag. I'll take hi. So you will be able to see that on your browser. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what does that mean? So whatever the thing that you write inside the body tag, that will be visible on the what? That will be visible on your browser. Okay. So this is our browser. So you will be able to see on the browser screen. Okay, so this is what we will be doing. So this part is done, this second part is done. So this third part we'll do it now in I'll just complete another 5 minutes, then we'll end the session. Okay, so similarly what all the tags that we have is, so we'll be having something called as, that is h1, h2, h3, h4 and h5 tag and h6 tag. So there will be some of the variants over there where we call those tags as what? Header tags. Okay, and what is the next thing that we'll be learning is, if we want to write any one of the para and so on, we'll be using the paragraph tag, and this list and so on I'll be telling you in the tomorrow's session. Okay, so let us just learn about only these two tags, and this so don't worry about this block level element and inline element. I'll be telling you in the tomorrow session. If I tell you now, you will be getting confused. Since I want to display something over here, I am using only the h1 tag and the paragraph tag. Okay, so how do we write this in the sense, that is h2 tag. I'll just copy this, or else I'll just auto generate it. h1 tag, h2 tag, h3 tag, h4 tag, h5 tag and h6 tag. Hi. Now I'll write all the text. Hi, this is your class. So how does the output look, guys? You're able to see some of the changes, like whenever we are using the different tags, you're able to see. So the h1 tag is what? It is the biggest tag, and you will be able to get the font size in the bigger format. And what is the h6 tag? It is showing the lowest part, the lowest font size. Are you able to see? There is a difference between these tags. So what if I just, you might ask, sir, like h1 tag is actually, it should be smallest, this h6 should be the biggest, right? Because the h6 is the bigger tag, you might ask. No, here actually h6 is the smallest tag and h1 is the biggest tag. Suppose if I write over here also, you'll be getting the output whatever we got previously, but this one is at the top. Are you able to see? Because some of them, they might have a doubt that, sir, since we are writing like this, first tag will be shown highest format and second will be in the lowest, and third one will be, it will be more smaller than that, and fourth one will be bit smaller than that. Again, the next tag that which we use, that will be more smaller than that. So that is not the fact. It has its own size, that is own what I can tell, own size of the format, like text. Okay, so the h1 is the biggest one and h6 is the smallest tag. So these are all are nothing but the, what I can tell, header tags. So here I can tell you that these all are header tags. And how to create the paragraph tag. So I'll just write you one para, that is, I'll just generate one dummy para. Okay, so you can just see this. Have just entered some dummy text over here. Okay, so this is how you display some of the text on your browser, guys. So whatever the changes I do over here, I'll be able to get. So this is what you can tell it as. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು, ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ವೆಬ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ, where you are not able to see any changes. So if I click on this word also, I am not able to do any changes. Can I tell this as static web page? Vaishnavi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I tell this as static web page?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is one of the example that you got for an static web page. So how do you give some of the styles and so on, that we will be learning in the next coming things. Okay, so we'll cover all these tags and then we will go for the CSS part. So for now we have just gone to this part till here. Any doubts you can just clarify, else you can leave, guys.